The rain fell steadily on the highway, splattering against the windshield of passing cars. Route 9 had always been a quiet road, mostly used by locals who knew how to drive through the winding forested curves. But over the past 6 months, something strange had been happening. People were vanishing. It always started the same way: a rainstorm, a lone figure standing by the roadside wearing a red raincoat with the hood up, and then nothing. The driver, their car, and sometimes even phone signals, gone. Only the stories remained, whispered on forums, news articles buried in local sections, and shared on late-night radio. Elliot Reed, a journalist for an online crime blog, was intrigued. He wasn't the kind of writer who covered folklore, but something about this case felt different, tangible, real. Elliot arrived in the small town of Dorset, where Route 9 ran past old neighborhoods, closed gas stations, and dense woods. He interviewed the locals, an old trucker who claimed to have seen the red raincoat on 3 separate nights, a waitress who swore her cousin disappeared on that road, and a sheriff who refused to even say the legend's name. They called her the Lady in the Red Raincoat. According to the stories, she never spoke. She just stood there, head down, and if you pulled over to help her, you were never seen again. Those who didn't stop? They'd often see her appear in their rearview mirror, inside the car. Elliot was skeptical, but his curiosity turned into obsession when he reviewed a dashcam video sent anonymously to his email. A dark road, pouring rain, then the figure. And just as the video cut off, a face pressed against the window, pale, smiling, wrong. Back at his motel, Elliot studied every post he could find online. He found a forum thread that stood out, written by someone with the username 9red. They warned others not to talk about her, not to investigate, not to look at her reflection. He messaged the account. The reply came instantly. "She knows you're here. You already saw her." That night, Elliot dreamed of rain pounding against glass and someone knocking, softly, insistently. He woke up drenched in sweat. The window was fogged. When he wiped it with his sleeve, he could see the outline of a figure standing in the parking lot. Red, motionless. Determined to end the mystery, Elliot drove out to Route 9 during the next storm. The rain came suddenly and violently, as if the sky was warning him to turn back. He turned on his camera and drove slow. Hours passed. Nothing. Then, just past mile marker 42, he saw her. She was exactly like the stories, head bowed, face hidden, standing in the rain with water dripping from the hem of her coat. He stopped the car and began recording. She didn't move. He got out, holding his phone up, asking questions. "Who are you? Are you real? What do you want?" Stillness. He reached out to pull back the hood. There was nothing underneath. No face. Just a void, like staring into a tunnel with no end. Then everything went black. Elliot woke up in his car. Daylight. His phone was missing. His camera. Gone. But his memory of what happened was sharp. Horrifyingly vivid. He drove back to town, shaken. But no one remembered him. The motel receptionist claimed she never checked him in. The sheriff said he'd never seen him before. Even the blog he wrote for had wiped his profile clean. Only one thing remained. A photo posted online the next day, taken by a passing driver. It showed Route 9, the rain, a man standing beside a car. Behind him, a woman in a red raincoat with no face. Back in a different town now, Elliot tried to rebuild his life. But something was wrong. It rained more often. Wherever he went, he saw flashes of red in reflections, in puddles, windows, rearview mirrors. One day, he found a strange message in his inbox. No sender, just a photo. It was him, standing on Route 9, the caption, "You replaced her." He finally understood the legend. She didn't just haunt the road. She needed someone new to take her place. Someone curious. Someone who looked too closely. And now, he stood by the roadside in the rain. Hood up, head bowed, waiting. Late at night, in the corner of a dying town named Westbridge, stood a rusted phone booth no one seemed to remember. It sat between a closed-down gas station and a shuttered diner, half swallowed by ivy and grime. Locals called it the booth that rings, even though no one had seen a working line there in decades. Teenagers whispered a story. If you call the booth at 2:33 a.m., someone always answers. They say the voice tells you when and how you'll die. Most think it's a joke. Jared Collins didn't. As a part-time podcaster hunting urban legends, he came to Westbridge hoping for a story to revive his failing channel. He didn't believe in ghosts, but he did believe in clicks. Jared spent the evening interviewing locals. Most laughed off the story, except for one man, an ex-telephone repair worker named Grant. He told Jared he once tried to cut the line to the booth and found it wasn't connected to anything. No power, no wires, nothing. But it rang, always at 2:33. Don't answer it, Grant warned. And for God's sake, don't call it. That night, Jared set up a camera across the street from the booth. Rain started falling around midnight. At 2:32 a.m., the camera picked up a soft ring. And again, and again. Jared's phone buzzed with a notification. Incoming call, no caller ID. He didn't answer. Not yet. The next night, Jared returned. This time he entered the booth. The floor was sticky. The phone, coated with dust, sat silently on the cradle. He checked his watch. 2:32 a.m. He lifted the receiver and dialed. It didn't ring. It just connected. A faint voice spoke immediately. Hollow. Familiar. Jared Collins. You'll die when the line goes dead. You always do. He hung up, heart pounding. It had used his name. Jared rushed back to the motel. His laptop was open, playing a recording from hours ago, static. Then the voice. Line disconnected. He hadn't left the camera running. No one had access. Over the next 3 days, Jared's phone rang every night at 2:33 a.m., always the same message. Line disconnected. Then silence. He started hearing static during the day, on the radio, in cafe speakers, in his dreams. One night, he awoke to find the booth's handset lying on his motel pillow, dry despite the rain outside. Jared searched through old newspapers and forums. He found obituaries tied to the legend, names of people who had tried to call the booth. Each one had died mysteriously within 5 days. He was on day 4. Desperate, Jared tracked down the daughter of one of the first known victims, Lena Farrow, whose father died in 1987 after reportedly calling the booth. She showed him a tape recorder her father had kept hidden in the attic. They played the tape. A long pause, then the same static, then a message. You are not the first, but you could be the last. Disconnect and survive. Lena never used a phone again. She handed Jared an axe. Destroy it. He hesitated. Part of him still wanted to believe this was a hoax, a story, but his nose began to bleed. Static filled his ears. Jared returned to the booth during the 5th stormy night. He smashed the glass, tore the phone from the cradle, but it rang. His own cell phone buzzed. No caller ID. 2:33 a.m. He answered. Line disconnected. Then, his phone's screen shattered from the inside. Smoke rose from the keypad. Behind him, the booth glowed faintly, and inside stood someone. Himself, but hollow-eyed, pale, speaking into the receiver. Jared screamed and ran, but the ringing followed. In his head. On every screen, in every sound. Jared was never seen again in Westbridge, but a week later, someone uploaded a new episode to his podcast channel. Just static, and then a whisper. Tell them not to call, but they will. Now, others have started receiving calls at 2:33 a.m. Some answer, some disappear. The booth is gone, but the line, still ringing. Lena Dalton, a quiet 17-year-old high school senior, lived a life of quiet routine, school, homework, scrolling through social media before bed. That night, It was 3:28 a.m. when she put down her math book and picked up her phone. She scrolled lazily through her feed when something odd happened. Her DM notification lit up. No username. No profile picture. Just one message. "Can I come in now?" There was no reply box, just a single status beneath it, seen at 3:33 a.m. The time on her phone ticked forward. 3:32. 3:33. A chill rolled down her spine. She told herself it was spam, or a glitch. Until the next night, at the same time, 3:33 a.m., the message returned. This time it read, "You left the window unlocked." Now the blank profile had a photo, a dark silhouette standing under a street lamp. Her street lamp. She ran to her window. Locked. She blocked the account, deleted the app, restarted the phone. But when she woke up the next morning, the app was back. A new notification. "Thank you for letting me in." Lena confided in Mia, her best friend. Together, they examined the messages. Mia tried messaging the account from her own phone. Nothing came up. They laughed it off, called it a glitch, went to bed. But that night, Lena received another DM. She's not who she says she is. She ignored it. Until 3:33 a.m., when Mia called her. Whispers filled the line. Static. Then silence. Mia's voice returned. Cold. Hollow. "You should have let me in first." Call dropped. Phone died. The profile picture updated again. The silhouette was standing at Lena's front gate. She didn't sleep that night. Every noise made her flinch. She tried to call Mia in the morning. Her number didn't exist anymore. At school, Mia's desk was empty. No one asked. When Lena did, her teacher frowned. Who? She checked their selfies, her chat history. Everything was gone. Later that night, at exactly 3:33 a.m., a live notification appeared on her phone from an unknown streaming app. Watch now, Lena Dalton. She clicked. It showed herself asleep in bed. Then, the camera angle shifted, as if someone was in the room. In panic, Lena reached out to online forums. One obscure thread caught her eye. A user wrote, "The messages are a test. You're asked for permission. If you ignore or block them, they find another way in." Another post warned, "Never say yes. Never respond after 3:33 a.m. Never look out the window when they message." Lena thought back. She had done all three. The messages resumed, each one colder. "I'm inside the mirror now. You're not alone when you brush your teeth. Stop looking behind you." Her reflection stopped following her, at first for a second, then longer. It stared at her with a slightly different expression. People at school started forgetting her. Teachers skipped her name during roll call. Her parents began calling her the other one. When she searched her own name online, nothing came up. The only result was a single blog post from 2006. Seen at 3:33 a.m., these are the ones they take. They erase the memory of the world around them. If you're reading this, it may already be too late. Desperate, Lena set up a live stream titled "Help Me" on a burner account. She sat in front of her window, camera facing out. Chat started slow. Then one user typed, "He's walking toward the house." Another, "Window, left corner." A loud tap behind her. She turned. Nothing there. When she looked back at the screen, the comments read, "We saw you open the window. Why would you do that?" She played the footage, in the video. She stood up, walked to the window and opened it. But she never remembered doing that. Lena vanished the next night. No trace. No signs of forced entry. No open windows. Her parents filed a missing persons report, but something was wrong. They didn't remember her name. Her photos had blank spots. Her voice was gone from old videos. Her room? Untouched, except for her phone, face down on the desk. A single message flashed on its screen at 3:33 a.m. Seen. Now, once a week, a 3:33 a.m. livestream goes online from her account. Only for 33 seconds, it shows a room, a shadow in the background, and every time one message appears in the live chat. Can I come in now?